Sky News has made themselves look totally incompetent as a news outlet for unashamedly repeating government spin. Invited two union leaders to the programme, broadcaster and journalist Jonathan Samuels was first called out on trying to twist the figures of firefighters' wages.
I was just looking at the figures. Once fully qualified, firefighters' basic salary in London will increase to £38,340 to £39,325 per annum.
That's right.
The average salary, is that right? The average salary in the UK, £38,600.
No. Just you need to compare apples with apples. It's the basics of statistical honesty. You're conflating London figures with national figures. The national figure for a competent firefighter is £32,000 a year. That's the salary of a competent firefighter after several years of training. So you're using incorrect figures. And
I'm quoting the London figures, 39,325.
In that case, you would need to compare the London figure with the London wage, wouldn't you, rather than comparing the London figure?
So there's not a lot of difference.
Let me finish. You've asked a question. Asked a question. If you're going to compare a London salary of a firefighter, you need to compare it with the London salary of an average worker, and that's not what you're doing. You're twisting the facts. Get your facts right if you're going to ask questions.
But then went on to say the government claim increasing pay would increase inflation.
Because the government says that if they give a double-digit pay rise, it's going to fuel inflation even further, and that is going to make the cost of living crisis last even longer.
Now, I'm no journalist, but even I know that increasing public sector pay doesn't increase inflation. Inflation's increased by the cost of goods and services increasing. Demand is a factor, and in the UK, cost of goods, such as your weekly food shopping, increasing because of the higher transport costs or lack of drivers is not getting the products to the shelves quick enough. So this means that the products that do arrive are now more expensive. Or it's such instances such as the war in Ukraine massively increasing the cost of gas. That's quite funny because he gets completely owned here.
Well, this is just nonsense because there is no evidence that the pay of public sector workers has caused inflation whatsoever. So instead of simply repeating government spin to people, you should look at the facts. Inflation has been caused by factors far outside our control. Our members, as other workers, have had to be told for more than a decade to tighten their belts, while the richest people in this society get richer and richer. Corporations make bigger and bigger profits. The government just a few weeks ago was willing to hand out £45 billion in tax cuts to the wealthiest in society, but tell working people that they need to tighten their belts and their families just have to make do.
Now, there could be some ignorance on Samuel's part, but you would have thought he would have learnt his lesson. Maybe have one of the producers look up some facts for him before the next interview. But he doesn't. He just goes on to repeat the spin.
If the government, if employers were to give everyone a double-digit pay rise, that is going to fuel inflation, isn't it? And it's going to make life a lot worse for so many people who are already struggling with the cost of living crisis. We don't want it to last longer than it's going to.
Yeah, but there is absolutely no evidence at all that it's the pay of nurses, paramedics and teachers that's driving inflation in this country. I mean, I wish the government was as concerned about what's happening to profits. So profits up 31% last year alone. Dividends handed out to shareholders rising 3 times faster than wages. A bumper year for bonuses in the City of London, and a government that decided to lift the cap on bankers' bonuses.
Truly shocking. So, in the comments, let me know your opinion. Do you think they have an agenda to demonise the unions, or are they quite happy just to go along with what the government say? Or are they just too lazy to do some real journalism? I'm not sure if Jonathan Samuels is a Conservative voter, or if Sky News is actually just swaying towards more conservatism. But it's not the first time an interviewer has failed in an interview. To see Sophie Ridge fail to hold Nazim Zahawi to account, then click the video that's on screen now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.